Hello, everyone. Now, as you know, Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time. And one of the many reasons why is because these people really believe that Michael Jordan having 6 finals MVP awards proves that Michael Jordan is the number one NBA player of all time. Now, I am going to explain to you why this is ridiculous. Here are the reasons why, in no particular order. First, they are disrespecting all of the other NBA people. Next, they are dismissing all of the other NBA people. Next, when they claim to respect the game and then they disrespect the game, they are contradicting themselves. Next, when they claim to love the game and then they dismiss the game, they are contradicting themselves. Next, Michael Jordan fans have a history of always trying to find a way to make Michael Jordan the number one NBA player of all time. So that right there shows you that they're not reliable. Next, understand why Michael Jordan fans are saying this. It's because they're just trying to find a way to make Michael Jordan the number one NBA player of all time. So that right there shows you that they're not reliable. Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the players that Michael Jordan played with don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the players that Michael Jordan played against don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the owners, general managers, coaches, and other NBA people that Michael Jordan played for don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of NBA Hall of Famers, lots of NBA legends, lots of NBA scouts, and lots of NBA experts don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that Michael Jordan doesn't agree with them? Next, since lots of these people don't agree with them, why do Michael Jordan fans sometimes reference one or more of these people for one or more topics? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that usually the only people who think this are Michael Jordan fans? Next, if some non-Michael Jordan fan said this thing and it went against Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan fans wouldn't agree with that non-Michael Jordan fan. Next, Michael Jordan fans have a contradiction. They always ask people who disagree with them if they were there when Michael Jordan played, if they went to his games, if they saw his games live on TV, and so on. And yet, they don't ask themselves these same type of questions when it comes to lots of other NBA Hall of Famers. If they did, they would know that it would go against them, and they wouldn't come to this kind of conclusion. Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this kind of thing for some other NBA players? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this kind of thing for some other players who played other sports? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this kind of thing for some other people and some other things when it comes to other things outside of sports? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this when it comes to who they rank as the number 2 NBA player of all time and the number 3 NBA player of all time and the number 4 NBA player of all time and so on? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this when it comes to who they rank as the number 1 player and the number 2 player and the number 3 player and so on when it comes to other sports? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this when it comes to the number 1 person or the number 1 thing or the number 2 person or the number 2 thing or the number 3 person or the number 3 thing and so on when it comes to other things outside of sports? Next, Michael Jordan fans are putting other NBA legends in a lose-lose situation. If they have one or more NBA Finals MVP awards, they dismiss it. If they don't have one or more NBA Finals MVP awards, they hold it against them. Next, an NBA player can dominate this game, be above average, be average, or anything else, whether they have 0 Finals MVP awards or 1 Finals MVP award or more than 1 Finals MVP award. Next, I want you to think about something logical. Is it logical to assume that Michael Jordan is the number 1 NBA player of all time because he has 6 Finals MVP awards? Next. In the past, NBA fans rarely ever used the NBA Finals award to rank NBA players. This thing started with Michael Jordan fans. They really think that the NBA Finals MVP award should be used to rank players. Next. If Michael Jordan fans use the NBA Finals MVP award to rank players, that means any player that has more
is a better player than another player who doesn't have as many.
Next.
The award wasn't around for everyone. So if the award is not around for everyone, why would you use the award to rank everyone?
Next.
The criteria to win the award wasn't always the same. So if the criteria wasn't always the same, why would you use the award to rank everyone?
Next.
They're just voting on whatever they want, so it's not reliable. So why would you use the award to rank NBA players since it's not reliable?
Next.
The best player doesn't always get the award, so the award is not always reliable. Just because someone is voted as the best player doesn't mean they're the best player. The player who wins is not always the best player. You can be the best player and not get the award. You can be the best player in the finals and not win the award. You can have the best stats and not get the award. You can deserve to win the award and not win the award, so it's not reliable. So why would you use it as a way to rank every player? And even if you disagree, you know in theory that there is a chance the best player may not get the award. So if you think it hasn't happened yet, it might happen in the future. You can be the best player and not win the award. So it's not reliable. So why would you use the award to rank NBA players since it's not reliable?
Next.
There have been disputes about some players who won, and it will probably happen in the future, so it's not reliable. So why would you use the award as a way to rank every player?
Next.
To get the award, a player has to be on the team that is in the playoffs to win the award, so some players won't win the award.
Next.
To get the award, a player has to be in the NBA Finals, so some players won't get the award.
Next.
To get the award, a player has to be on the team that wins the NBA Finals, so some players won't get the award. Only once did a player win the NBA Finals MVP award on a team that lost, and that happened when Jerry West was on the team that lost. Which, by the way, on a side note, that is an example of why Jerry West should at least be considered as the #1 NBA player. He was so good that he was on the team that lost and he won the award. It is more impressive when a guy wins the award on the losing team instead of the award automatically going to a guy who was on the team that won.
Next.
When Michael Jordan fans rank Michael Jordan higher because of his NBA Finals MVP awards, it's like they are acting like Michael Jordan won the NBA Finals by himself. But he didn't. He and his team won the NBA Finals. And the same applies if Michael Jordan fans change it to one guy leads the way.
Next.
If Michael Jordan fans act like Michael Jordan won the NBA Finals by himself, then they should be consistent and act like when Michael Jordan and the team lost in the playoffs or when they didn't make the playoffs, it was Michael Jordan who lost by himself. And the same applies if Michael Jordan fans change it to one guy leads the way.
Next.
What if a player who is usually considered a top player is not doing well, and another player who is not considered a top player is doing well? And what if the player who is not considered a top player wins the award? You wouldn't consider that player better than the player who is usually considered a top player, so why would you use the award to rank NBA players?
Next.
Suppose a player sacrifices his game to help the team win. He can't win the award, so you're going to hold it against that player for not winning the award? You're going to rank him lower than another player who won the award? He is sacrificing his game. He is trying to help the team win the NBA Finals. Isn't winning the NBA Finals the most important thing?
Next.
There is not that much competition for the award. There's only a certain amount of players who are going to win. For example, the NBA's regular season MVP award, which by the way is another award you should not use to rank players, at least that award has lots of people in competition for it. But the NBA Finals MVP award doesn't have that much competition. There's only 24 people competing for the NBA Finals MVP award.
Next.
When it comes to the 24 people who are competing for the NBA Finals MVP award, lots of them are most likely not going to win the award. The competition is usually going to be between 12 players, since the award usually goes to the player who is on the team that wins. So there is not that much competition for the award.
Next.
When it comes to the 12 players who are competing for the NBA Finals MVP award, lots of them are most likely not going to win the award. The competition is usually going to be between the first, second, third, and fourth star, so there is not that much competition for the award.
Next.
When it comes to the first, second, third, and fourth star who are competing for the NBA Finals MVP award, half of them are most likely not going to win the award. The competition is usually going to be between the first and second star, so there is not that much competition for the award.
Next.
Who else is supposed to win the award if it's not the star?
Next.
Who is supposed to win the award over Michael Jordan?
Next.
The NBA is not going to be fair when it comes to who they want to win the award. It benefits them more when the star wins it, and when the star on the winning team wins it.
Next.
The advertisers are not going to be fair when it comes to who they want to win the award. It benefits them more when the star wins it, and when the star on the winning team wins it.
Next.
The NBA Finals award is a gimmick award. Now, you can make the point that lots of NBA awards are gimmick awards, and you might be right depending on the award, but the NBA Finals MVP award is a gimmick award. It is an award to get attention, to make money, to market the league. So why are you using the award as a way to rank which NBA players are better than other NBA players?
Next.
If you're going to use the NBA Finals MVP award to rank players, why stop there? Why not use an award for the third round, and the second round, and the first round, and the player of the conference, and the player of the division, and the player of the month, and the player of the week, and the player of the day, and the player of the game, and the All-Star game? Don't just ignore everything else and just go by the NBA Finals. And when it comes to the NBA playoffs, don't just ignore the first round and the second round and the third round and just go by the fourth round. Sure, it's the NBA Finals, but you can't win the NBA Finals or get to the NBA Finals if you don't win the third round and the second round and the first round. You can't win in the fourth round or get to the fourth round if you don't win the third round and the second round and the first round.
Next.
For those of you who are going to isolate the NBA Finals over everything else, then suppose all the other categories had an MVP award. And suppose in one of those categories, a person won the MVP award more times than another person who won the NBA Finals MVP award. If you go by the logic of Michael Jordan fans, wouldn't the first person be ranked higher than the second person? For example, if the third round had an MVP award and a player won that award 3 times, and another player won the NBA Finals MVP award 1 time, then by the logic of Michael Jordan fans, wouldn't the first player be ranked higher than the second player?
Next.
If you are not going to rank the first guy over the second guy, then how many MVP awards from another category would the first guy have to have for you to rank him over the guy who has NBA Finals MVP awards? For example, if the first guy has 3, then would it be enough for you? If not, what if he has 4? Then would it be enough for you? If not, what if he has 11? Then would it be enough for you? If not, what if he has 28? Then would it be enough for you?
Next.
If you don't think other MVP awards should be ranked over a player who has NBA Finals MVP awards, then you are contradicting yourself. You are acting like one MVP award is more important than another MVP award, which means you are making things up, you are downplaying the other MVP awards, and it means no matter how many other MVP awards someone else wins, it won't mean much to you compared to a guy who wins the NBA Finals MVP award.
Next. There is no fact to prove who should win an NBA Finals MVP award. Next, there is no fact to prove that Michael Jordan's 6 Finals MVP awards prove that Michael Jordan is the number 1 NBA player of all time.
Hey, please subscribe, and if you disagree with me on something, you can go on my program and show me your facts on whatever you disagree on. If you want to go on, let's set it up. Send me an email. The email is right there in the description section. Thank you.